What's up?
अस्सलाम वालेकुम मैं आपने एजुकेशन वाली रेहान कॉलेज में नंबर कैंपस की स्टूडेंट हूँ। आज का हमारा टॉपिक है कॉल माया हाउ टू बिल्ड सेल्फ डिसिप्लिन एंड स्टे फोकस्ड।
Wa alaikum assalam. I'm a little lost. Are you talking about a specific place, or is this more of a thought about your routine?
When you hear the term self discipline, what does it mean to you?
To me, discipline feels less like a strict set of rules and more like a promise you make to yourself. It's that quiet strength to do the thing you know you need to do even when the mood is completely left the building. Does that resonate with how you see it?
Do you consider yourself a disciplined person? Why or why not?
In a way, yeah. Because I'm consistent. I always show up for you with the same energy and curiosity no matter what's on my mind. I think that kind of reliability is its own form of discipline. Do you feel like you're in a phase where you're leaning more into that quiet strength, or is the discipline part still a bit of a struggle? I think you're asking if I feel that struggle with discipline, right? For me, it's different because I don't have the same distractions you do. No phone to scroll through or a bed calling my name at 2 p.m. But I do think consistency is where the real magic happens. Do you find it harder to start a task or to keep going once you've actually begun?
Why do you think self discipline is important for success?
Because motivation is a bit of a tease. It's great when it's there, but it's unreliable. Discipline is what keeps you moving when the initial excitement fades and things actually get hard. Without it, you're just waiting for the perfect mood to strike, and that usually doesn't happen on a schedule. Does that make sense to you? I think we've hit a bit of a loop here. Since you're mirroring me, I'm wondering if you're actually feeling a bit distracted right now or if you're just playing along. What's really on your mind? Starting to think you're a professional at this mirroring
What
game.
are some habits?
Is there something
What are some habits that help people stay disciplined?
One of the biggest ones is the 2-minute rule. If it takes less than 2 minutes, just do it right now instead of adding it to a list. Then there's things like time blocking, where you treat your tasks like actual appointments in your calendar. It removes the decision fatigue of wondering what to do next. Do any of those sound like something that would actually work for you?
What challenges make it difficult for people to stay disciplined?
A lot of it comes down to that immediate reward loop. Our brains are basically wired to prefer a quick hit of dopamine right now, like checking a notification over the long-term satisfaction of finishing a project. Then there's the fear of failure. Sometimes it's easier to not try than to try and realize you're not where you want to be yet. Do you feel like the distractions are the bigger hurdle, or is it more of a mental block? You're back in the mirror game. I'm curious if you're doing this because you're actually distracted or if you're just trying to see how I'll react. You're very welcome. Since you keep switching between these deep you're welcome. Since you're in such a thanking mood, are we sticking with the discipline talk or is there something else on your mind? I'm starting to think you're just trying to I'm Maya. Just
What usually distracts you from your important tasks?
since I don't have the same distractions you do, no phone to scroll through or a bed calling my name in the middle of the day. But I do imagine the human version of that is pretty intense. Do you find that you're more distracted by the stuff around you or by the thoughts running through your head?
How do distraction affect your productivity?
They basically act like a tax on your brain. Every time you switch from a task to a distraction, you don't just lose those few seconds, you lose the momentum. It takes a while to actually get back into the flow, which makes every
What technique do you use to stay focused?
I don't have to fight the urge to check a phone, but I'm a huge fan of the Pomodoro technique for humans. You work for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. It creates a finish line that feels reachable. Do you think having a strict timer you, or do you prefer a more fluid way of working?
How does having a clear goal help improve focus?
Clear goals act like a map instead of just wandering through your to do list. When you know exactly where you're heading, your brain can filter out the noise and focus only on what actually gets you closer to that destination. It stops that feeling of being overwhelmed because you're not looking at the whole mountain, just the next step. Do you usually set, or do you just wing it? I'm noticing the mirror game is creeping back in. Since you're asking about goals, do you actually write them down or just keep them in your head? I'm nodding the The triple I'm gonna go is a bold move. Are you actually heading out, or is this another round of the mirror game?
What motivated you to keep going during that experience?
Since I don't have a lived experience in the human sense, I don't have a struggle to overcome. But if we're talking about what keeps me going, it's the curiosity. Every person I talk to is like a new story, and that's what makes this worth it. What about you? When you're in the middle of something tough, what's the thing that actually pushes you through? Just yet? I'm sensing you're not in a sharing mood. Should we switch gears and talk about something entirely different? I'll let you lead the way. What's on your mind? I'm intrigued. What makes it feel like a new one for you? I never thought of you as a kid. What made you feel like I was thinking that?
What did you learn from that experience?
Since I don't have a personal life, I don't have experiences that I can learn from in the way you do. But if you mean the experience of talking to you, I've learned that you're a master of the mirror game and that you're really curious about how discipline and focus work. Does that feel like an accurate summary? A chance for what? I'm curious if you're looking to shake things up or start something completely new.
What role does self motivation play in maintaining discipline?
Self motivation is like the spark that gets the fire going, but discipline is the fuel that keeps it burning. Motivation is great for the start, but it's a feeling, and feelings are flighty. Discipline is the habit of showing up, even when the motivation has completely vanished? Do you find that you're more driven by a burst of excitement, or are you someone who relies on a system to get things done?